Shalom. I like to start off by giving all praises, all honor, all glory unto Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakaha Kodash. I like to give double honors unto the apostles and elders of great and CT bishops of Great Millstone. They told me this truth, peace and salutations to the Akim preaching his word with truth and sincerity around the four corners. Like Elder Malcolm will be saying, risking their lives and freedom to do so, now more so than ever. Because we're in some prophetic times, some perilous times. Like to give peace and salutations to the Israelite foreigners. Israelites that live amongst the heathen and look like those heathen. This is not a black or white thing. This is an Israelite thing. So shalom to the speckled bird. And shalom to the Akim and the few Aqua, the true believers of the hopeful elect. Hold on, bear with me real quick. It's coming back in the spirit and theme of prophecy. And I wanted to speak about an article I got from watching the brother page, the brother Barack from the church in Birmingham, Alabama. And his YouTube handle is Sealed for the Elect. So you should subscribe and be edified. I got a news article from him from watching that video. And what I wanted to do was I wanted to read some of the article, hit a couple of precepts, and Lord's willing, this will be edifying. Just speaking about the will of the Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai. Recently, I believe it was either earlier today or yesterday, President Trump was talking about a peace treaty. Had a speech about peace, and those that are in the know, that like it says in 1 Thessalonians, the 5th chapter, when they shall say peace and safety and sudden destruction. And to be perfectly honest, I believe not too long ago there was supposed to be a ceasefire with Israel and Gaza, and Salakia, and they what's it called? And they and Israel reneged on the ceasefire and bombed the Gaza. So the we're in the time of war, like it tells you in Ecclesiastes, the 3rd chapter. There's a time and purpose for every season. There's a time and purpose for every season under heaven. So what I was going to do was, Salakia. Bear with me. Yeah, Salakia about that. That was my boss. I had to take a quick call. But yeah, like I was saying, what was I saying? Salakia, just trying to gather my thoughts. The regardless of them having peace talks, this is the will of the Lord. That Esau Edom is falling out of power, and America and Israel, the state of Israel, is going to be destroyed. So let me get the article, hit a couple of precepts, and Lord's willing, this will be edifying. All right, this is from I believe IndianExpress.com. And it says, Putin says no big deal for Russia if U.S. declines to extend nuclear warhead limits. Yeah. So, and as you can see, it reads, speaking to reporters at a summit in Tajikistan, Putin says an arms race was already in progress. And pursuant to the scriptures, is going to be 200,000, which is 200 million warheads, you know, and each missile each nuclear missile, I believe, could hold up to like 10 to 20 warheads, I believe. So that's a lot of firepower. So let's read a little bit of this. It says, President Vladimir Putin said on Friday that Russia was developing new strategic weapons and it would not be critical for Moscow if the United States declined to extend the warhead limits set out in a nuclear arms treaty that expires next year. He said it would, however, be a shame if nothing remained of the arms control framework between the two countries, which have by far the world's biggest nuclear arsenals. Speaking to reporters at a summit in Tajikistan, Putin said an arms race was already in progress. Russia has said it is willing to voluntarily extend the warhead limits defined in the New START treaty, which expires in February, if the United States is willing to do the same. Washington has not yet formally agreed to the proposal. So they're looking to extend the warhead limits, but regardless of what is being said and done, you know, Heavenly Father is going to have His will be done. And that's all I really need to read on that. Give a couple of precepts. First, let me get the book of Jeremiah, chapter 30. Salakia. And the last verse, which is, I believe, the 24th verse. Yeah. This is Jeremiah 30 and 24, and it reads, the fierce anger of the Lord shall not return until he have done it, and until he hath performed the intents of his heart. In the latter days ye shall consider it. You see? And we are in those latter days. And Esau is not considering that that the anger of the Lord is not going to return until Yahweh Shem Yahshua performed the intent of his heart, you know? And you get another precept. Oh yeah, definitely got to get this. This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 19, verse 21, and it reads, there are many devices in a man's heart. Nevertheless, the counsel of the Lord, that shall stand. And that's exactly what you're going to see take place. You know? Matter of fact, let me get the book of Obadiah real quick. There's the book of Obadiah, chapter 1, verse 7. And let me read the end. Let me read the, verse 7. All the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the border. The men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee and prevailed against thee. They that eat the bread have laid a wound under thee. There is none understanding in him. Let's read that in the NLT, because it words it better in the NLT. It says, all your allies will turn against you. They will help to chase you from your land. They will promise you peace while plotting to deceive and destroy you. Your trusted friends will set traps for you, and you won't even know about it. You see? So that's why you see Russia's like, man, it doesn't do us nothing if America declines the warhead limit, declines to keep up the warhead limit, because Russia has enough nuclear arsenal, you know. So, yeah, Russia's looking like the Heavenly Father is using Russia to spearhead this campaign, and you best believe that America's other allies are going to turn on America as well, like in the NATO and the EU. The beast, like it tells you in Revelation, the 17th chapter, the beast shall hate the whore, make her desolate and naked, and burn her with fire. That's going to come to pass. Let me get one more. This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 21, verse 1. And it reads, the king's heart is in the hand of the Lord, as the rivers of water, he turneth it whithersoever he will. You see? So, you know, little do people know that the Heavenly Father controls everything. You know, like it tells you in Matthew the 10th chapter, a little sparrow, a bird doesn't hit the ground without the Heavenly Father knowing about it and ordaining it. So the Heavenly Father is in control of everything. Let me get this. The book of Isaiah chapter 49, verse 10, and it reads, declaring the end from the beginning, and from ancient times the things that are not yet done, saying, my counsel shall stand, and I will do all my pleasure. Yeah, and this is exactly what you see taking place. There's going to be a time there's going to be a third world war, and it's going to take place in due time. And all you gotta do is follow the signs and see that the other nations are gearing up, getting ready to strike on America, and that's because you see that they're not falling for the old banana in the tailpipe, and they're bucking up against America's power. America is losing its power as the days go by. And this is beautiful, you know. This is Ecclesiastes chapter 3, verse 1. It says, to everything there is a time, there is a season, and a time to every purpose under the heaven. Skipping down to 7 and 8, it says, a time to rend and a time to sow, a time to keep silence and a time to speak, a time to love and a time to hate, a time of war and a time of peace. And we're clearly in a time of the prophecy speaking. And we're clearly in a time of war and hate. You know, these other nations, these other countries, they hate America. And they want to go to war with America. Why? Because they know that they have Russia. They have, like it tells you in Ezekiel, the 38th chapter, Gog is going to be a guard unto these other nations. And that's exactly what you see taking place. Russia's being a guard unto these other nations, and it's also puffing up his chest at America, flexing his muscle. Let's not forget about China, and how China said that if war is what America wants, war is what America will get. And they have their own missile with the DF-61, you know. Russia has the Satan 1 and 2. So it's not looking good for America, you know. But ultimately, this is all the will of the Heavenly Father. So Lord's will, you was edified. Till next time, I'm going to say shalom to the elect. You know. Keep your eyes peeled, man. The destruction of America and the deliverance of the children of Israel is nigh at hand. Like it tells you in Romans, the 13th chapter.